Are you sitting down? Good, because this is a special report. The Journey into Comics Network is proud to present The Poor Report, your one-stop shop for everything news and topics of personal interest. Tune in every other Tuesday for exciting new episodes. And now, back to your regularly scheduled podcast.
The following is a Journey into Comics Network production.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Journey into Comics, the podcast about everything nerd, with your hosts, Nate Phillips and Brandon Stone.
We've come a long way from the Prime Minister's exploding cake. Or have we?
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's episode 156 of Journey into Comics. I'm your host, Nate. Today, in studio, joining me, as always, but not always in studio, Brando.
How's it going, man?
It's late night. How's it going?
It is pretty late night. It's going pretty good, though. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like we've had a pretty long and productive day today.
Productive is a good word. Very full circle.
Yeah.
I felt like there was really interesting finality on
a lot
today.
of circles were completed.
Yes. Not the circle jerks, but circles in general.
Where are you taking this podcast?
Not there. Joining us today, the man himself. He is the doctor in the house. Dongo Richie himself, Blaine, Dick Blaine, Tyner, Dick Blaine, Dane, whatever we're calling you. How's it going?
Hey, Nate.
That wasn't creepy as fuck. That was like the most Hey.
Do you want to know how it's going?
How is it going?
It's fucking grand, man.
Yeah, you look like you're in Loopyville.
I'm good.
Okay, that's cool. If you're
I'm
not
just tired, man. I'm just so tired.
Well, there's a reason for you're tired.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about you sleep Facebook Live. What?
I have no idea what happened because so I had a late night last night. I was out downtown at the bars, you know. It's a typical Friday night for me if I don't have to work on a Saturday. I got home about 4 o'clock. I went to bed at 4 o'clock.
Or so you thought.
Or so I thought. I slept the most solid sleep I've slept in a very long time.
Again, or so you thought.
Because when I went to sleep, or so I thought, I didn't wake up until noon. Like not once. I wake up like 2 or 3 times in the night, check my phone, go back to sleep, wake up whenever I wake up. The morning, I'll wake up at like 8, 9, 10. But no, I just slept straight to fucking noon, which is way later than I wanted to sleep because I wanted to be able to get up, get ready, you know, watch some YouTube, maybe get some food, shower, then make the journey up here. But so I wake up at noon, check my phone. I got 14 notifications, which has been pretty free. That's a pretty regular number to wake up to lately since all the podcasting stuff started and whatnot.
Totally.
And so one of those notifications is like, oh, so-and-so commented on your video. And I'm like, what video? Well, not okay. Rewind a little bit. So I open up the app. I open up the Facebook app, and it says ending live video. I'm like, what the fuck? But it froze. I was like, that's weird. So I closed out. Fucking did the whole closing the app like completely thing, you know. And then I brought it back up and did it again, but this time it didn't completely freeze, and I was actually able to go to my notifications and said, oh, commented on your video, and I was like, what the fuck? And I look, and it's a live video that I had posted, and I was like, I didn't watch the whole thing, but apparently you said it was like 4 seconds, right?
It was 4 seconds,
and
it was pure darkness.
Yeah, it was pure darkness, and there was some sound.
So one of a couple things happened. You're either a wizard and can totally do Facebook Live in your sleep. Impressive. Because you have to type a description. I don't know if you know that. You had to have typed some kind of description, I would hope.
No,
can't
you
just
don't
go
have
untitled.
to.
Really? You can
yeah,
go
you can
untitled?
just hit go live.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that, but he figured that out. And then the other question is, like, what if, like, there's a part of your night that's missing? And then this is some repressed memory that you were like, fuck, I can't forget this. There's that noise. It's following me. You know? I don't know.
Please don't tell me things like this. This stuff makes me think.
Oh, no, don't think. I'm just being
No,
being
stop thinking.
Stop thinking.
You're done.
But we should talk about why you guys are here, by the way.
Why are we here?
Like,
what are we doing here?
We're podcasting at
I mean,
2:08 in the morning, Illinois time, Indiana time.
So it's 3:08.
It's 3:08 your guys' time. You guys get up at like 5 for work or something?
I get up at 4:30.
Holy
somewhere
fuck.
in there.
Okay. You?
I wake up about a normal wake up for me is about 5:15,
Okay.
and I'm out the door by 5:25.
So we're like nearing impeding on your guys' like wake up schedule now.
I actually got to sleep in a little bit today. I woke up at like 7:30.
Oh, nice. Well, Blaine apparently did too.
Y'all know how late I slept. I got my full 8 hours. I'm good.
Okay, well, that's good. But you guys made the trek up. We had a show tonight. And Walk Among Us played this place in Highland called The Room. Decent crowd. It was pretty big. It was cool. Interesting night, to say the least. But it was really awesome that you guys made the journey because it was like my dad's first time seeing us perform live. Brando and I have already recorded the Voice of Survival podcast that's already live, so I don't have to try to timey-wimey explain that.
No. We went ahead and just put it live on late. Well, not late, but late for launching a podcast, I guess, during the day.
Yeah, for sure.
On Saturday night, yeah.
So we, did this show or whatever, but you guys were, like, intending on coming up anyways. And it was like, oh, we should get a fucking ton of podcasts done.
Yes.
We're together. Let's just do it.
Mm-hmm. And then the Voice of Survival turned into a 3-hour.
It could have went 4, I think.
Wait.
If we would have.
It could have because, all right, so I totally said originally, let's put it like a 3-hour limit on that, And then I remember when we started, like I'm like, let's just let it go for how long it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
We have the time. And even though it got to that point, I feel like there's a few things there towards the end we probably could have spent a little more time on.
Oh, yeah.
But, I'm very happy with how it came out. I thought it was pretty cool. It was neat to kind of rehash some of these things for our audience because, like, they really haven't heard that side of the personal story that goes back.
This is the prologue to Journey into Comics.
Essentially, and it is almost kind of like the Cliff Notes section because there's a lot of stuff. There's so many band stories we didn't tell.
We didn't even get into the fun stuff.
Well, not really. We could spend a whole other podcast just riffing on some of these funny ass stories. I mentioned one. I mentioned the ow, my eye, or it's in my eye.
Broken stick, yeah.
Yeah, the broken stick. I didn't mention the. I didn't mention that story at all.
That was the grossest sound I've ever heard come out of a human person, by the way.
I didn't mention the DXS Crib story.
Which has been briefly mentioned on other shows.
I think it may have
Yeah,
been.
you guys talked about that on Metalcast.
Did we?
Yeah, it was the Metalcast with Colby and Nick.
The
last Metalcast.
So we didn't tell that story either. We told the story about the amp dying at Metal Assault 1. Mentioned that, your dad and Brian jammed. We didn't mention the story of the sound check for the skating rink show.
I don't even remember.
Do you remember when we went to the venue in January? To plug everything in just to get a sense for what it was going to sound like.
And they didn't have the heat on.
He didn't want to turn the heat on. Well, because he only had it open for like two nights a week.
Yeah.
On Friday and Saturday, right? Why would he afford why would he pay to heat this building for days he's not going to be in there? So, but he opened it up and he goes, I'm not going to turn the heat on just for you guys. Sorry. And I'm like, I don't blame you. But then because of how long it would take for the whole place to even warm up, Would not even.
It's not. Yeah, it's not worth it at
It
all.
wouldn't be. It wouldn't be worth it. And we that was the coldest I've ever been playing an instrument. Like I felt my fingers were going to fall off.
Yep.
Because we brought our stuff in, we set everything up, to just to get a sound check.
My family from Florida was up. It's the only time they've ever seen me play music, but they were up, and it was like Jeff and his
Was that for
kids.
the show or for
It
the
was
sound
for
check?
the sound check. They were there during the sound check because it was like, oh, well, you're here anyways. You guys want to come check our sound check out? And they came and watched us. We did like 6 or 7 songs, 5 or 6 songs.
I don't remember how many we did.
Yeah,
Long
it was
enough for my
fucking gold.
fingers to feel like I was going
Yeah.
numb. But like we had that. We didn't mention. Have we ever talked about the Tub Girl story?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
People on the internet, you probably know what Tub Girl is by now, or at least. So like I shouldn't have to describe it.
God.
But we were we were doing like a project where we were transferring reels of film. I don't know the millimeter.
No recollection either.
But these old family reel films to like VHS. So we had to set this thing up to project onto a small little screen and set up the camera to record it from the projection. And that was our project, and we had so many reels to go through, and that reels would break, so we'd have to splice them back together. It was just a slow and tedious thing that we did every day during class. We would just hang out in this side room, because the media room is essentially 2 rooms. It was like an old school classroom, and then a newer media center with that's where they had. Is that where they had like the servers for the?
Yes, I think
for
so.
the school. That's why it was so cool in
Yes.
there. Then they also had like the computer with the cool little dial for all their editing. And then the other room was more like they had like the big cameras for the DAC, for the community college down in Danville, and they had that. They had the green screen in that room. But then, so we set off in this little classroom section, and we had a computer. We'd occasionally play music or something.
Whiskey and Pajamas.
Whiskey and Pajamas.
And Duality.
Yeah, I remember those.
We blared Duality the day that came out, and like Mrs. John's English class was right next door and definitely heard us blaring Slipknot.
Somewhere in that school there is a master tape, because this video camera, guys, there's a little pin that you put in there to mute the microphone on the camera, and these were supposed to be silent because these are silent reel films. There's no sound. So like the masters, I mean, it doesn't really matter because you can mute like when you're putting the master to make copies, you can mute the whole thing, which we did.
Yeah.
But the camera caught us talking about Tub Girl.
I forgot all about
Going into and hearing our friend Jason going into descriptive detail because you hadn't seen it yet.
I do recall.
And then having Brandon Klaber in the room with us.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that?
No.
No? Well, I mean, none of us cared, but like he listened and found out what that was. Probably scarred the poor kid for life.
Yeah, I would say so.
But anyway, that was a good episode, and those are the things we did not talk about.
Yeah,
on that episode.
That was a nice little
He
teaser.
was just a boy.
It was just a goddamn
There's some,
child.
but there's so many things that we could go back and talk about, and I would love to do another episode with you, where we could just sit back and it was one of the more relaxed podcasts that I've done in a long time, because usually I'm all like sitting in like a computer chair, sitting in a more rigid chair, like a kitchen table chair.
Yep.
And setting up all proper, and now I'm like sitting in this. This is a love seat.
Yeah, it's a comfy ass love seat.
And that
Fucking
at
sucks
some
you in.
point I was like this, and even going like pulling the thing like this.
It fucking sucks you in, bro. So we have you guys call him Mr. 30% or 40? Did you go up 10?
I want to say 30, but he always says
If he's
40.
Mr. 30%, that ties in nicely with one of the things we wanted to talk about today on Journey into Comics.
Well, yeah, because it's like we don't have a lot to talk about.
Nah, but we can fucking riff this shit. We're not half-assing it. We're not phoning this in live in studio.
No. Although this episode's still being called Attack of the Yawns, because I've already While you guys were talking, I yawned once.
Fucking soon as you said it, you son of a bitch.
I've had a few big ones.
God damn it.
Why are you guys doing that? Stop yawning.
Have I told you guys? Do you guys know why we yawn after seeing another person yawn?
No, actually.
It comes from our primate ancestry, because we are social creatures, and being social creatures, we want to be similar to each other. We want to fit in we want to be able to fit in. So when we see another human or a monkey sees another monkey do something, we imitate them. It's just an instinctual thing.
That's weird. Because I thought yawning was just like, you don't have any oxygen in your fucking brain.
Well, there's that, but like the reason it's contagious, and there goes Brandon again. Already. But the reason it's contagious, so people say, is that's why.
It's because I saw you do it, so now I got to do it.
It's a psychologically instinctual
All
thing.
you have to do is say it sometimes, and I have to yawn. It's like, yeah, man, totally got to yawn. I'm like,
surprised I'm not yet.
Oh, this is gonna be interesting.
I guess
how this
I'm just way
episode
cooler
turns
than
out.
you guys.
This is like the Loopy Cast. You're not cooler than us.
I'm not
Nate,
yawning, am I?
cool.
Yeah, I hear I'm cool by your kid. That's weird.
Yeah, my kid calls you Old Nate.
Or Ol Meat.
No, he
Meat.
hasn't called you Old Meat in a long time.
That's true. That was like just the first time, probably.
Yeah, first couple times, yeah.
Yeah.
But Old Nate, Old Mock,
Otas.
and Otast. Anytime I get on the computer, podcast, no test, Mock, Nate, yeah, like he's so funny.
He's a riot.
He's a riot, Wyatt.
Oh.
Yeah, so 30%. I had saw an article. I wonder if I saved it. It's hit or miss with these, whether or not I actually remember to save it.
That big long sigh was not me sighing at you, Brando. It was definitely me finishing my yawn.
Saved it. So Joss Whedon changed
Whedon.
approximately
Yeah.
30% of the Justice League script. This is on traileraddict.com. I don't know how on the up and up this is. And I have an ad for Pillars of Eternity as I'm yawning again. I just did an old man noise. And I yawned and went, Okay. The switching director hands between Zack Snyder to Joss Whedon for Justice League was always going to have a big impact for the end result, but now a source close to those in the know has made the picture a bit more clear. Forbes Mark Hughes.
Okay.
Forbes Marks.
Mark Hughes.
My name is Mark Hughes.
Where did that voice come from?
I have no idea.
Great choice.
That's just kind of where I go to.
I hope the Marks Hughes out there is just like, I don't even sound like that. Like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Like,
Apparently, Mark Hughes has been following these events closely. From those that work on the set of the DC blockbuster and appearing on the superhero news show this week. That's a thing, apparently. The
superheroes need
show.
news too.
He outlined how much of an influence the former Buffy the Vampire Slayer architect has had behind the scenes. Whedon is said to have brought in 24 pages of additional material, including and excluding certain characters that Snyder had earmarked before he departed due to personal reasons. While Hughes admits that this change is significant, it's not intended to be a major shift for what the inaugural filmmaker had planned. As the discussion shift from Ant-Man updates to Suicide Squad 2 news and everything involved in the superhero movie domain, Hughes explained the series of events that would see Whedon take the reins coming into the scene with his own sensibilities from his Marvel days. There were alterations that made up a third of what was written down to begin with. Quote, there are a lot of ways you can contribute to changing a script, he argued. What I heard was roughly 24 pages of additional new material and rewrites. On top of that, there's some stuff that's been cut, scenes that have been cut, characters that have been cut from the film, things that have been changed, and things that have been cut.
Apparently things have been cut. Jesus. He said it like 6 times.
I know. So when you look at the totality of his involvement and the work and his work and his impact on the script, yes, it's fair to say probably a third of the script total when you add cuts, reshoots, and new scenes. Hughes would intimate that the villain Darkseid might not have been completely cut from the picture altogether, with the possibility of a cameo or post-credit scene and outside chance. So there's way more to this, but I don't really think we need to really dive into this. What do you think, Nate? Because originally we had talked about, and I even had brought up to the fact that just because he's stepping in doesn't necessarily mean that he's changing anything drastic, as far as like the reshoots and everything, because the reshoots are very common. And almost every movie blockbuster, They go in to get their main thing done and then see what else they either need to do. It's almost like when you're trying to figure out, putting together a project. You need to figure out, what do I have? What could, and you get in. Because sometimes you might have more than what you think and you won't need to go in.
Well, also the one thing that I think that they think about considering with reshoots is you have to factor in that once in a while, Mother Nature doesn't play kind.
Yes.
And if they go to have a sunny day and do an outside sunny day scene and it's fucking pouring down rain, well, we're going to have to just move that to when we do reshoots because we can't stop.
Hope they're not filming in Florida right now.
Correct. That would be really not good, especially at this current time when I think that is actually making landfall right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Man,
so,
if any of our listeners in Florida, please be safe. I hope you guys have made it to safety. If you guys have stayed, please try and be safe. This is, it's a very trying time. I mean, with all these hurricanes and all this disaster. I mean,
fires and fucking earthquake in Mexico. I don't know why I had a hard time remembering Mexico, but
what was that place?
It was like an 8.1, dude.
We'll see. It was on the opposite side of Mexico, like on the Pacific side. So you had like the hurricane. What was that? How do you pronounce it? Katia?
Yeah, Kasha. Gotcha.
That's on the east side.
Mm-hmm.
And then over on the opposite side, there's a damn earthquake.
Yeah. Everything is fucked right now. But we're talking about Joss Whedon, and one thing that you got to think about is he's like a world-renowned director. He's a world-renowned filmmaker.
Yeah.
He is the guy that made the Marvel Universe what it is, ultimately. He set the cornerstone that is MCU. The first brick says Joss Whedon. Now, the second and third brick probably says, like, Kevin Feige, James Gunn, which is cool. And then the Russos obviously have a big, thing to do with that. But Joss isn't going to go into a movie and then just not contribute and not have ideas to make the movie fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And he's a superhero fan. So he saw what they were doing and went, it's not really that colorful. And then he saw what they were doing and he went, man, they totally biffed and didn't include this character. Or why the fuck do they need to add this guy or girl or whoever? It's not needed. It's stupid fucking filler. Get rid of it. And he probably said, look, you guys are gambling right now. Wonder Woman was great. If you fucking fumble right now, it's done. They don't want to see another Batman. They don't want to see another Superman for a while. They don't want to see another Green Lantern or another fucking Cyborg or any of that shit. It's done. You fucked yourselves. Joss had to step in to a situation that was already in hot water. You can't avoid the controversy surrounding Batman versus Superman, the failings of Suicide Squad, as much as it's not the world's worst movie, for what it could have been.
It also did,
money-wise, it made a lot of money. I know.
So, you're guaranteed a second one at this point.
Yeah, because they're going to do.
Which they talked about a director for that, and I can't remember who they said.
I don't remember, actually.
I read it, but I don't remember it, and it's been It's been almost since the last time we talked since I saw it.
But I don't know, Brando. It's just to me, I feel like if Joss Whedon didn't step into this, we might be getting a totally different film. And now I'm almost at the point where watching it's going to be difficult because we're going to be watching it going, well, what was Zach, what was Whedon? And how obvious is it going to be to tell them apart? If it's not that obvious, cool. If the whole movie just runs fluidly, then great. They've done their jobs as filmmakers to not take away from the movie experience because of all the things going on behind the scenes. However, if it's like...
Hey.
I hope that got caught.
Oh, I do too. I heard it. It woke me up.
The Phantom Snorlax. Oh, Jesus. But really, though,
I like how it's only when we started talking about what this show actually talks about
that I die.
that, yeah, well, like not during the whole bullshit, let's just talk, nothing going on. It's like, no, let's dive into this thing and let's give our opinions on Joss Whedon and whatever. And then you're all like, good night.
checking out. Well,
It's a good thing we didn't throw the ball to you because it would have went right past you.
You also got to think, man, if Joss added Justice League, for real, or not Justice League, the Halls of Justice.
Joss Whedon comes in. So what do we got here?
This is not the Justice League. What the fuck are you guys doing? You don't even have a Flash.
It's like, wait a minute. Hold on, wait. You guys are making a movie called The Justice League. Where's the Justice League? Well, we're getting there. But see, this is a Zack Snyder film, so it's a 3.5-hour long movie. And we need a good 45 minutes of Bruce Wayne brooding. And we need another good 45 minutes of like Clark Kent mooting, and we need
Aquaman for 5 seconds.
We need a flash of Aquaman doing his thing, and then we need a Flash making a funny joke.
I think he might be the thing that saves that movie if they didn't take a lot of the humor out through Joss Whedon's changing of everything.
And here's the thing. You mentioned about, like, are we going to be able to tell what's Whedon and what's Snyder? And I think that if Whedon was to do his job correctly, you wouldn't be able to tell. Because he's coming into this not being the original director with a project that was largely completed before he came on board. And he is tasked with finishing this film. Not making this film. He's finishing it. So whatever changes he makes has to go along with the original flow and feel of the movie in flavor. So while maybe he's not, the same guy, but he has to be making the same movie, or at least adding to what was already in place. Because otherwise you end up with a really just out of this world movie where it wouldn't make any damn sense, because it would end up like that movie, what is that, 4 Rooms? You remember that?
Yeah, 4 Rooms is a Tarantino movie.
Well, I mean, there was, each room had a different director.
Actually, I didn't know that.
So like you had all these different directors with different, it was all just different parts. And another good thing is to bring up the original Sin City.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Rodriguez. I'm getting to the point tonight where my mouth is like, you're not going to say 2 R's back to back.
Not happening.
Not happening tonight. But Rodriguez and Frank Miller directed that movie.
Yep.
Rodriguez did not want to just get a soul. He wanted Frank in there because he wanted him to be there. And even though Rodriguez was spearheading this movie, he's like, this is Frank's book. He's going to be here. If he has any ideas, we're going to use them.
Because his book.
It's his fucking book. And, say what you will about the second one, which I didn't enjoy nearly as much as I did the first.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. Buddy, if you like the first one.
I did.
Did you love the first one?
Yeah.
Watch it and then stew on it, because I've watched it once and I haven't watched it again.
Yikes.
Because I didn't really want to, and it was just it wasn't bad.
A Dame to Kill For, right?
Yeah, it wasn't bad, and it has Josh Brolin, and Josh Brolin's good.
He's Cable.
You know,
And Thanos.
I mean, Josh Brolin's a great actor.
It's fucking weird.
It has. I just felt like it didn't hit the marks of the first one, and that's a letdown to me, because that first Sin City is one of my favorite films.
Absolutely.
Probably of that decade.
Easily.
It was just the style and everything. But take a look at that. There's a scene in there during the Clive Owen segment. I do believe that's the name of the actor.
Yes.
Where he's driving in the car with Benicio del Toro.
Uh-huh.
And Benicio comes to life. Benicio's dead.
Yep.
He's done been killed, and Clive Owen's character is taking him to the tar pits to get rid of the body.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes alive, and then and they have this scene where he's talking to a dead guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but he's really not talking to anybody.
No.
But the actor obviously comes to life and plays along, and you know, they have this cool scene of where there's now the blue and red flashing lights and the black and white imagery where he's like, the cops are onto him now. That's one scene was directed by Quentin Tarantino.
Really?
Yeah. Tarantino had never shot in digital film before. He's always shot his films old school on actual film. And Robert's like, hey, I'm making this movie. It's all green screen. You know, we're shooting on digital. If you come on down, you know, we'll set a day. Come on down. We got this, you know, we got this cool scene that we really feel like would be really cool with your touch. And so while that scene works for the movie, and you can actually kind of see little things that Quentin does in his filmmaking that are evident in that scene. We might see some of that if you can really start nitpicking Snyder style versus Whedon style. But this is a different thing where, you know, Rodriguez wanted that scene to be Quentin.
Instead of it being Joss having to take over in this situation.
Yeah, because Joss is now trying to finish the film that Snyder started, so he's not going to try and make it his film. He's making Snyder's film.
Okay.
So he's got to finish Snyder's film, and then if he does his job, you shouldn't be able to tell.
Do you think that Joss is adding some stuff for his own reasons because of Batgirl? And then also,
probably not. I don't think that he would add anything that would do that that wouldn't already have been there.
Okay, that makes sense. And then, you know, one thing I noticed that with Joss is I feel like if we watched the first trailer that they dropped for Justice League opposed to the most recent Comic-Con trailer, color palette would be completely different. Because I feel like there was still a lot of monochromatic stuff going on with Zack Snyder's style with the first trailer. But then on the flip, I feel like, you know, when Joss was announced taking over and all the Comic-Con news broke, the movie looked more colorful, a lot more vibrant. The tones were richer.
You know, that could have just not been a Whedon thing. That could have been just a studio thing as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
As a response. I mean, as them saying, look, us going that way didn't work as well for us as we wanted to. So maybe we shouldn't go that route. Maybe we'll lighten it up a little bit.
Yeah, man. I don't know. That's bizarre. I would say we should talk about not Game of Thrones. I would say we should talk about Walking Dead. You haven't yet caught up, but issue 171 is really good. I can't wait for you to read it so we can review it right here on Journey into Comics. Attack of the Yawns.
Attack of the Yawns. You know, I'm always in this position where, like, I should know that it's out, but when you said, "Have you read it yet?" and I'm like, "It's out." I'm always. It seems like I'm always surprised. Like, oh yeah, that does release every month around the beginning.
It's the first Wednesday of every month.
And I'm like, oh
yeah,
anti-mutagen.
Yeah, the crazy thing is the variant cover for 171 is already up to like $150 on eBay.
What?
Yeah, I didn't obviously get it, but yeah, people are just like
You're still collecting every issue that comes out.
Yeah, I'm like 4 issues behind, but I'm trying to collect every issue. Yeah, I only need issues 1 and 2, and then like the last 3 or 4. I got Andrea's death issue, and I haven't got a new one since. So I haven't got like the stuff that happens with Negan, the stuff that happens with Dwight, now the stuff that happens with Eugene, and then now Princess. Princess is gonna be cool. I'm just saying. Hey, Blaine.
What's up?
You're still alive.
I am.
Okay. So I wanted to talk for a minute, and I told you guys this before we left for the show earlier. I want to talk about what we think might happen on Game of Thrones Season 8 whenever the fuck we get it.
Yeah.
Because at this time, they're saying 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, 2019. Give it to me next year. I don't care. The only thing is, though, like, part of me says I don't care, and then I think, like, those motherfuckers are going to
be
do...
next year.
They're going to do... Every episode's a giant fucking epic battle of nonstop fucking action. And it's going to take 30 days for every episode to film, and that's going to make it take so long. And they're going to be hour-and-a-half episodes.
I think they've already debunked that it's going to be 2019.
They've debunked that it's going to be 2019?
Yeah, I think it might. Well, no, it won't. I was about to say it. I think it might go in, like the season might go into 2019, but no, if only being 6 episodes, it won't be that big, or it won't be that long. But no, they're starting to shoot October.
Yeah.
So it should be out around October.
Okay, well, I want to know then. Let's talk about it. What are some of the predictions you guys have for Season 8?
All right, so I've come up with this theory. I think someone is going to end up on the Iron Throne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who?
I don't know. Oh,
great deductive reasoning.
Yes.
Such
I actually
storytelling.
predicted that in season 1. Believe it or not.
Someone will end up on that throne.
No, it's hard telling because I mean I was talking to you earlier about the whole, or no, was it you or Brandon?
No,
I was talking to them. You guys about possibly Jon Snow dying.
Oh, that was me. We were talking about it.
Because he's the prince that was promised. I don't know. It's super hard telling, and like I'm at a point where I don't really want to theorize. I just want to watch it happen.
I don't know. It's just weird because there's so many things I can see happening. One thing I think was missed is I'm fairly certain that, and now having rewatched parts of season 7, I think Tyrion, from a very early standpoint, as early as the Greyjoys and Martells falling to the Ironborn, Tyrion knew that was going to happen because he's betrayed Daenerys, because he doesn't want his family killed. As much as he wants to see the wheel broken and everything change, he still loves his sister as much as a terrible person as she is.
Yeah.
And Tyrion really does love Jaime. There's a real connection that you can tell throughout the whole series that they have.
Well, Jaime's the only person that's ever shown him any real kindness.
Correct.
In his family.
Correct. Absolutely. So it's like, what's Tyrion's play? What's he going to end up doing? Will he come clean and say, like, I told Cersei to lie, and I told her to come, but I knew it was a great deception? Because I think the thing that's going to throw him off is Jaime showing up. Jaime showing up is going to be like, oh, whoa, hold on. Wait. Now you're pissed off at Cersei too? Bros before hoes, and just continue on. I think that Jaime is a good piece to Daenerys' army. She needs someone whose strategy is nearly infallible, and even though Tyrion has been great, relatively speaking, throughout the series, he has shown that he has made mistakes. So Jaime joining the fight is just like chess piece. Boom. You now have somebody who can lead the troops on the ground and do the thing. You're going to have Jon on Drogon and Daenerys on the other one.
Jon's going to be on
Rhaegar? Is it Rhaegar?
John's gonna be on
Because it was Viserion,
Drogon, and
Rhaegal.
Rhaegal.
It is Rhaegal.
Well,
Yeah.
he would be on Rhaegal.
Yeah, he'll be on
Rhaegar is his
Rhaegal.
dad.
Oh,
And she's been exclusively writing Drogon for
Just
since
like she
season 1.
exclusively rode
Khal Drogo.
Drogo.
And then like you look at some other things on the map, and it's like, okay, what's Cersei gonna do? Get murdered by Arya. By the way, someone put a theory in my head that I can't get out of my mind. What about the fucking Jaqen fucking many-faced dude?
Oh shit,
He's still out there.
he is still out there, but I feel like that story's just done.
Yeah, but with Game of Thrones, you just don't know until you know. Some people are like,
There's just-
what if he's secretly so-and-so this whole time? Like, what if he is Jaime Lannister, but we don't know it, you know? Or what if he is another major character that's just been under disguise this whole time? Because he could do that. I mean,
Just sounds silly to me.
it does, but you got to look. Listen, that's one thing about
There's just no
theorizing.
room for that in the 8th season, though. With only 6 episodes and 2 very big fronts to be fighting on, like, there's just no room for it.
Look, here's my thought. They have to be the way you look at all the pieces. Gendry is now with the North. We'll call it Team the North, right? Because they're gonna not have to go north because the North is coming to them. The North is going south.
The North.
But
Yeah. The North is traveling south.
yeah, but Team North has
I love it.
Gendry, who is a guy who can make weapons, right?
Yes.
So that's a piece of the puzzle. You've got Samwell Tarly, who's back, who's got all this knowledge from his time, trying to be a maester. And
He knows all the stuff Bran knows.
Mm-hmm. And Bran and him are like filling each other in on shit because Bran only sees what Bran can see, but he doesn't necessarily get all the backstory.
No.
That's why he wasn't immediately red flagged when he went to the Tower of Joy in season 6. He didn't immediately know everything that was happening, and over time has went back there again and again and again and again and got all the pieces of the puzzle because it was, a silly piece of paper. Samwell Tarly. By the way, the dude that plays Samwell Tarly is a badass drummer.
Yes, he is.
I saw
He even
him.
looks like a drummer. I'm sorry. Like,
Are you saying I look like Samwell Tarly?
no.
Okay, because Facebook did.
I saw that.
The things that like change, like who do you look like in Game of Thrones? Samwell Tarly, 4 out of 4. Hey, but you've got all these pieces that are fighting on Team North. You've got the Dragon Glass that's already been mined. You've got this army of White Walkers, and I get it. The Night King looks fierce. He's not someone to be trifled with. He's legit. Like, he will fuck you up with a spear from many hundreds of yards away with perfect accuracy.
Yeah, I saw the way he took out Ace Ventura.
Correct.
Wow.
Just
Just wow.
unbelievable. So, do I think that the Team North is going to blow through the Walkers? No. I think that they're going to suffer some great losses that are going to be really heart-stopping, choke you up, fuck you up emotionally moments because
definitely.
Nick brought this up, that they used to have this dagger they could just pull out and any main character's gone,
Yeah.
and they didn't necessarily do that.
A lot
this
of people this season have had plot armor. I don't think that's going to be the case next season.
Next year, I think it's no holds barred. I think very few people make it out alive, and I think that we're going to see some real tragic shit.
Yes.
Like Sansa watching Arya die or vice versa. And, you've got this whole team gonna go fight White Walkers. They're not all gonna make it.
No.
Tormund had his brush with death, so they're gonna
He
put him on
always
the
has a
burn.
brush with death.
Yeah, but he's like on the back burner again. Like, I don't expect them to immediately go back to that. I'm still pissed that Barrick didn't just hook a homie up with his fucking lightsaber sword fire thing and make people stay warm during the time. But then I thought about it after I said that to Brandon on the last podcast. If he would have done that, it would have melted shit too also, and they would have had more problems. So it was a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment, I guess. I think that after suffering some great losses, the North wins. John and Danny most likely stay intact. Maybe Jamie. And I think Jamie's a necessary component. And maybe also...
I think he definitely is.
Sandor Clegane. I think the Hound has to stick around for obvious reasons. Because I think when you... What happens with the Night King is going to be more based on anybody who was a wildling or a Brotherhood Without Banners member biting it finally. They're the fringe characters that don't need to be there for the King's Landing finale.
No.
When when we find out what's going to happen. And when everything is wrapped in a nice little bow. So I think Jamie stays alive. I think Sandor Clegane stays alive. I think that Daenerys and Jon stay alive. Tyrion's going to stay alive. At least one of the Stark sisters. I don't think both of them make it, though. I really don't.
I think they'll both make it. I don't really see them getting too hard into the fray.
Ooh, that's a nice pun. Arya got into the fray. All of the frays.
Fuck.
Oh.
Yeah. My mind
Totally
is bizarrely
intentional.
sharp for being this late, guys.
That was totally intentional.
Yeah, I know you.
I totally did that on purpose.
I got you. I know you did.
But
Brando, what are some of your thoughts on the next season? It's weird because
you're awfully quiet over there.
You know a lot of the lore that I'm just starting to learn, and like some of the stuff that you would learn if you read the books, or know if you perused Wikipedia for 15 straight hours,
the history of,
or watched a ton of different history of videos. Like I was telling you guys before we did this, there was the Robert's Rebellion, Battle of the Trident. Like it was literally the fucking map of Westeros, and just little pictures moving and showing you how everything fucking happened. I learned so much. I actually understand the map of Westeros now. All of those flybys that they do on that fucking introduction, and I never understood how that map worked. And now I get it as a whole.
Have you never actually looked at the map?
No, I every time I looked at a map, I didn't quite get where everything was placed. But the way this video broke everything down, it was actually like taking it and almost making counties. Not really counties, it's probably a bad word, more like states. But, and saying, like, this is where King's Landing was, and this was Aerys's plan. He was going to build this city on a marble, and there was all this other shit going on, and then there's an attempt on his life that makes him force himself into the Red Keep, and then he starts going crazy, and then there's the whole burn 'em all thing, which could be Bran trying to warn him to burn all the White Walkers, which is a theory.
I really like that theory.
Dude, I do too, and I can't get away from it because it would be so clever if they pull it off. And actually, I watched the footage back again from, I want to say it was season 4, when the Night King lets Jon escape Harrenhal. Night King had a beat on him. If he fucking took out Viserion like that, he had Jon Snow dead to rights. Didn't even have to try. And he didn't. He just stood there and just go. He didn't say go because he's the Night King, but
no, he fucking just sat there and just, what up? Raises his arms, goes, what's up? And
that
fucking
meme of the Night King, or that GIF. My bad.
Thank you for saying it that way.
Yeah, it's not GIF.
You're a real person.
Yeah, I am a real person. Fucking GIFers.
What? This discussion
That sounded so much worse.
This fucking topic gets brought up everywhere I look, and even the creator of GIFs calls it GIF. It's like it came down to him, and everybody's like, "How do you say it?" And he's like, "It's GIF." I'm like, "What the fuck? Fuck you!"
It doesn't make sense.
No, it does not. It's a hard G.
It is a hard G.
It's a hard G. Yeah.
Oh my God, Cammy. Hey, we're trying to podcast. That's a little loud. I know. I'm here, so you have to come bother me. Knock it off. Okay. What other news could we even news?
I haven't given my theories on Game of Thrones.
Oh,
yet.
yeah, dude. Fucking hold down over there. Start talking about your Thrones theories. I'm going to grab myself a water.
Okay, so you asked me, and then you just started talking about other stuff.
My thoughts are thoughts.
My theories, I mean, I agree with what you said about there being, this season is going to be a little bit less of the plot armor characters. So Train of the Existence is here.
Train of our existence. Even at fucking 3 in the morning.
I know. Dude, you have so many trains up here, man.
It's literally ridiculous. Continue with your thought. I'm so sorry. I'm apologizing for the train that fucking interrupted us.
Damn you. Now, you said that you predicted that Jon dies and doesn't get the throne.
Yeah.
I really liked the whole theory, the Nissa theory.
I don't like that one because it's sad. I'd rather Jon just die than have to fucking kill Daenerys.
That's why I think it's going to happen, because I think he's going to be miserable, and that's why he's going to get it. That's why he's going to get the throne, is because it's sort of like a retread of every single thing that's ever happened to him. Where
lost his love.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Thrust into power.
Yeah, well, yeah, put into power because someone's got to do it, and you're the best one. Someone's got to do it. You're the best one. She's going to be the queen, and then he's got to kill her. Well, you're the rightful king. Someone's got to do it. You're the best one. Although we could be living in some really weird fucking reality where, like, the person who you least expect to get on the Iron Throne becomes the king.
Samwell Tarly.
I was going to say Tormund.
Oh, yeah. I would like that.
Interesting.
I would like that a lot because I love Tormund.
He's just on there with that mix, and then he's looking at his queen, Brienne.
Oh, my God.
And
making giant babies.
Dude, I gave a lot of my theories and a lot of what I thought was going to happen on the Podcastrophe Game of Thrones or Game of Geekshare season review.
Which, by the way, that's full of spoilers.
Yes.
Don't listen to it if you don't know shit about.
You can listen to maybe the first 20 minutes, and then we get into it.
The new Poor Report has a review of season 4.
Yeah, because he's going through it slower than most people, because you can only watch it with his significant other when they're together, and that's limited, so they only get about 1 or 2 episodes through. He just finished The Mountain and the Viper.
Oh, man. He's got 1 episode left in that. No, 2 episodes left in that season.
No, he just finished the season now at this point. But when I had previously talked to him, he hadn't. And then by the time he did Poor Rapport, he had finished season 4. So now they're moving into season 5. So they're closer. They're closer.
Season 5 was okay.
I have so many ideas for when the show is done for the network. Like I told you guys, I think it would be super cool if every show reviewed 1 season and the final season. So, Podcastrophe could do, season 1 and the final season, and then Journey into Comics would do, 2, and then Fuji's would do 3, or Game Addicts 4, and so on and so forth. And then for the Journey into Comics one, for the actual Journey into Comics episode, would be clips of all the other shows talking about the season 8 finale exclusively, with us highlighting some of our thoughts together at the beginning of the episode, I just think that it's such a spectacular show. We've been blessed in our lives to get Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones and 7 decent seasons of Dexter, 6 really, maybe 4, depending on how you look at it. I liked a lot of Dexter up and until the final season, and then I thought the final season was utter shit.
This series can end to 4 seasons. It doesn't need to go any further than that.
I like the Travis Marshall season.
I hated that season.
Really?
I didn't like that season at all. I just thought that season narratively was just very bad. I didn't like season 5 either.
Oh God, with Lumen.
Yeah, I mean, although we see with that season, I sort of got it because I'm like, man, it's gonna be so hard to top 4. You almost need a down season. So I went into that season expecting it to be a down season,
And it was.
but then I went into 6 and I did not care for the story at all. And I actually like season 7.
See, I like season 7.
LaGuerta's. Yeah, when she's onto him and she's chasing after him. I actually did like that. But then, because then you get the almost, then you rectify the fact that LaGuerta didn't die in season 1 like she was supposed to.
Yeah.
Because if you actually read the book that the first season is based off of, she's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then Deb, I don't know if she finds out.
Deb finds out at the beginning of season 7.
No, I'm talking about the book.
Oh, in the books.
Because in the books, it's Dexter's twin, which is his brother. It looks just like Dexter.
Huh.
And then, of course, in the show, they changed that. But, Betty, that was just an example of a show that I felt like just, the longer it went on, the worse it got. And especially, like, it rose to a peak with 4, and then it went down and down and down. It went up, and then they botched the ending of that damn show.
Ooh. It's odd that we referenced Dexter with a hurricane bearing down on Florida.
Because he drove into one, right?
Yeah. He dropped Deb's body, which that was my biggest bitch about how that season ended. Beyond lumber decks and all that shit. Like, the thing that killed me was that he just wheeled her fucking dead-ass corpse out of the hospital and not a single human being stopped him.
Stabbed that dude with the pen.
Yeah, and they let him go. Dude, the fucking what's his face? I can't remember what his name was. The guy that Deb was in Hots with.
Oh shit.
You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, he came in after Dokes died.
Yep.
Shoot.
Joey, maybe?
Joey Fatone.
No, but maybe. But Attack of the Yawns. I'm telling you. Blaine might get wrapped up in Revenge of the Yawn before we know it.
I'm already on to the 4th episode.
A new yawn.
A new yawn.
I was just so disappointed. I was so glad that when we watched both that one and Breaking Bad's, because those two shows ended within a week of each other.
Yeah. One did it right and one fucked up.
Majorly.
Another thing is, like, how are you going to kill Deb off screen and she's been a major character for the entire series? Really?
That was another thing that bugged the crap out of me.
It doesn't make sense.
No,
Spoilers for Dexter, by the way.
This isn't the first time we've talked about it. We just
Spoilers.
This has come up before.
Have you seen?
Nope.
Are you intending on?
Nope.
You should.
I'm good.
Dexter's a dope show.
I've watched it here and there. I watched a little bit of season 4 when it was actually on TV.
Okay.
And I've caught a couple episodes here and there when I lived at the Doom Room. One of my roommates there was watching it.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sure it's great. It's just another show for me to fucking binge, I guess. So if I ever get to it, I'll get to it. But I'm not worried about it.
At least if you're gonna think about it, ever just watch 1 through 4, and then if at that point, if you're hooked, finish it.
Yeah.
But if you're like, this was decent and this was good, then you could stop there, because there's no reason to, because how much they fuck up the rest of it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Man.
It's a shame. And it's a shame because Michael C. Hall, I really had a hard time remembering his name just now.
Okay. That's all right.
I'm like,
you did great.
I'm like, there's a dude with a C.
There was no delay.
I'm like, well, in my head, I'm leading up to it. I'm like, shit, I need to just hit this out of the park right now. I'm like, his middle name is a C. It's not John C. Reilly. It's the only one I can think of. Because I can just see.
Are they cousins because they have the C?
I can just see John C. Reilly as Dexter. Like,
you can just see.
Yeah. I can just.
That's the pun I'm gonna make tonight.
Uh-oh.
I can envision John C. Reilly as like this vigilante serial killer.
He makes sense for the lumberjack part.
He looks like Michael C. Hall, and then just for that last part of the finale, he looks like John C. Reilly.
Do you know I've thought about how you could reboot the Dexter series with Michael C. Hall, and it would be genius, right?
You might have told me.
But you just so you know where you left off. He's a lumberjack, and what you do is you do some fast forwarding montage to start the series, where it's like 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, and he's just doing the same mundane thing. Then it takes us into like an average day at working where he's working, and it's all the little shit that's starting to get to him, and it festers, and then he snaps. Now, Dexter is just a serial killer. The code is out the window, and that tells for a compelling story because he's smart enough. He's already used the code to its full potential. He can take parts of the code as he needs, but he doesn't have to follow a rule that has to be a good guy or a bad guy, you know, and to know the difference. He just snaps because it's like in him, you know, and then people are like, holy shit, some major mass murderer is back on the scene. Like, we haven't seen this since the fucking Bay Harbor Butcher, you know, or whichever story, Trinity or whatever, you know, and then you could have a new team of people trying to chase Dexter, but he's too smart. He's always one step ahead. Because that's what made Dexter so good, getting caught. When's he gonna get caught, right? Because then there are times when you're like, holy shit, he's caught. There's no way around it. He's fucked. And it's over, you know? And then, on the flip, it's like, now, a new team of people who don't know Dexter are chasing this guy. And they might be really smart and good by their own right. And maybe you can, like maybe Masuka shows up. And he has, you know, he's the one connecting factor to the old team. You know, just with his creep laugh. And his daughter, he had a daughter.
Yeah.
And she was, like, all about
really,
Dex.
She was really hot, too.
Yeah, yeah. It's fucking weird. Man, that show was fucking weird. It was good, though, but it was fucking weird. So weird. Moving on, Brando. What do we want to do now? Talk about now? I don't know. Do you want to get to Sharpie?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm just joking with you, man.
Fuck off.
I was waiting for it.
Have you guys watched Westworld?
Haven't got around to that yet.
I have watched the first 5 episodes.
Finish it.
Working on it. Yeah.
Excellent stuff.
We're done with Thrones now. We have to catch up on Doctor Who, so we're only like 3 seasons back. I'm caught up on Doctor Who. Veronica is not caught up on Doctor Who.
I am taking a break from watching anything at the moment. So that way I don't have to do anything.
Except for Family Guy.
Dude, that was months ago.
Oh, shit.
man.
I, for some reason, thought that was more recent.
No, I just had mentioned that, like, wow, I actually got caught up on that, and I was like 6 seasons behind. Because I'm like, yeah, I don't care anymore. And then it's cool, but it's almost in a way kind of turned into what weekly hijinks have Peter and Joe and Quagmire and Cleveland got up to this week.
Do they still do Cleveland show?
No, that show got canceled and he's moved back. he moved back with the family for that.
Man, you think that at the very beginning that was their plan? Like, okay, we're going to try this Cleveland show. If it fucking flops, just have him move back to Quahog.
Well, yeah, but then he brings the family back with him.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
you got those characters, Donna and Cleveland Jr.
Cleveland Jr.
Not the skinny, really hyper one, but the really fat one, and then
Really
and
fat
then Rollo.
Cleveland
They're not
Jr.
they're not featured all the time, obviously, because they're
Yeah.
because they're family of a side character, but they're there. But like now that Quagmire's back, it really does seem like it just.
Where did Quagmire go?
No, Quagmire. I'm sorry.
Oh, Cleveland. I was like, holy shit, did
Yeah.
Quagmire get his own show too?
No, do you remember them joking about that?
Yeah.
About him like, hey, I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. I'm going to get my own show.
Hey, what's that movie van in front of Cleveland's house? And then one of my favorite gags about that is, do you remember they did that gag with Cleveland for a long time where like Peter would always mess up Cleveland's house?
Yeah.
And then he'd be in the bathtub and he'd fall like,
Oh,
no.
I do
need to
remember
stop
that.
taking my bath doing Peter's shenanigans. And then they did one more, and he crashed through it, and it was just the empty bathtub, and it crashed through. And Peter goes, "Oh yeah, Cleveland moved."
Oh, yeah, Cleveland. I don't think I saw that one.
So Peter like queued up that entire gag just to have an empty one, and then it was just.
Do you remember when Family Guy used to do and now Conway Twitty?
Yeah.
During the writer's strike?
Was that just one episode or is that several episodes?
It's a couple.
It was a running gag for
I remember one
parts of-
episode had like
The whole
the
song.
whole
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole song. It was
Yeah,
like
they did.
three. They did 3 different times. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Yep.
I'm really excited for the Arrowverse to start back up here soon.
Yes, Blaine. Oh my God.
And now I have my own podcast to talk about it on.
Yeah, which I can come on to and speak
Oh, yeah.
upon, and then we can go on the Poor Report and speak on it too,
Mhm.
also as well.
I'm
And
very
we can
excited.
speak on- yeah, it's great because the Arrowverse has been awesome. Where they leave season 6 for Arrow, what they're going into is like,
I know.
How do you fucking?
How do you come
from
back?
that?
Yeah.
I heard. Here's a couple things that are of note. Brandon's ears will perk up when I say this. They're going to do a huge 2-part Deathstroke story this season.
Good.
Like,
Good.
big story, because Oliver's going to help Slade find his son, who's eventually going to take up the mantle of the future
Yeah.
Deathstroke.
And as seen in Legends of Tomorrow.
Correct. Flash, Iris, and Barry are going to get married this season. They officially announced that's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the Arrowverse crossover centered around Kara and Alex Danvers from Supergirl.
Yes.
So I'm really excited for this new season that the CW's put together. Are you interested? Are you going to be watching Black Lightning?
Probably not.
You know, honestly, I really wanted to
Unless
watch
it connects.
It didn't look good. The trailer I watched, I was just like,
Unless it connects somehow to the Arrowverse, I don't care.
yeah. And they said as of right now, it has no intent to connect to the Arrowverse.
Which is
so,
smart,
Yeah.
because,
It could suck dick.
yeah,
It
exactly.
might be awful. It's probably going to be.
When I saw the trailer, I was like, is this another fucking Flash character I don't know about?
No.
But
He's just
I
another
looked it up.
character in the
Don't
lore.
worry, I did my Wikipedia thing.
Yeah. You know, he's that guy. Did that thing, has the kid.
Yeah, that guy,
Yeah, that's about all you can say.
basically.
He's got a dumb fucking costume.
Yeah, it looks
That costume looks fucking terrible. It looks like Superman Lives, except for worse. Same concept though. Parts of the suit have light, but are also supposed to be like hard rubber. Just doesn't translate to screen. I don't get it. But of course, if you're gonna do Black Lightning, how he traditionally would look, he would just look like the Flash throwing flashlight.
Hey, I don't know why. You were talking about how stupid his super suit looks.
Okay.
And I immediately just started thinking, like, why don't they just start throwing fucking, like, brand sponsor logos on there and shit, which made me think of Mystery Men.
Yes.
And what if they did a Mystery Men TV show, or even a sequel? I mean, they fucking did Zoolander too. Why not Mystery Men too?
That'd be interesting. They could do like a Mystery Men the reboot, you know,
and fucking bring back Kel.
Yeah.
Kel Mitchell. That's his
Kel
last
Mitchell
name.
from Kenan and Kel.
Yeah.
Kenan Thompson, who during season 40 of Saturday Night Live announced his retirement from Saturday Night Live, and here he is 3 seasons later, still on Saturday Night Live because he's the only other black guy they can get to stay on that show. Like, it's kind of fucked up. Brando just made the face. He's like, I don't know. But I like Saturday Night Live, but there's a lot of weird politics in that. But
Man,
I don't know what else to talk about, Brando. It's late as fuck.
Yeah.
it is.
You guys look like you're down on Main Street. It's just KO'd, you know.
I wish Cammy would KO me like she was KOing Balrog in that picture I showed you.
Oh. Different Cammy. I looked over at my cat.
I immediately,
what the fuck?
I immediately turned to the cat as well.
Balrog.
Yeah, from Street Fighter,
Yeah,
from
Cammy
the
Balrog.
All Gen Gamers podcast.
Yeah, I was showing you like, hey, this is old stuff, and I showed you this. She was KOing him. She's getting ready for a Hurricane Rano.
Oh my god.
That That is like a really, really old joke. That's like that's like 6th grade joke.
Man.
If
I
anybody
didn't know you
listen-
in 6th grade.
No. If anybody listening, in fact, probably the one person that would get that joke, you're welcome. Hurricane Rano.
I don't get it, but it sounded funny.
Hurricane Rana. It was all about jokes about how to pronounce Hurricane Rana.
Oh.
Like, Hurricane Rano. Like, where do you get the O?
Rano. Yeah, because it's Hurricane Rana.
Yeah.
Not O.
Hurricane Rana.
Hurricane Rana.
All these hurricane jokes.
Wow, I
Yeah.
didn't even realize we were.
No, that's what happens. We lose all we lose all morality and sensibility.
It's 3 a.m. and my fucking brain is toast.
Have you guys seen that meme where it's like,
I've seen a lot of memes.
we as human beings, like when the end of the world finally does come and it's an asteroid coming at us, it shows the picture of the asteroid flying towards the Earth, and the Earth, there's like I think it's Pepe the Frog, like staring it down. It's like this is what we would see. It's like this is because that we're so obsessed with memes, and I think like with the recent developments and all the hurricanes and shit, it's like we've done nothing but prove that meme right, because we're making memes about the hurricanes.
I loved the it's like, I think you posted this actually.
I probably did.
But shockingly enough, this is the first time we're going to maybe mention this a little bit more in detail, but you posted something that said, funny how not long ago Trump was denying climate change. And then climate change
seems
was
like yeah, hold my beer. Hold my beer.
I'm going to fuck shit up. Like, that's what's happened. It's awful. It's not anything to joke about. Those tragedies and things are real. But you have to laugh through the fucked up, because that's all we got as people. Because if you can't find the jokes in life, then life is no meaning, except for just to be sad all the time. And that's not really what I'm about.
Nope.
So, I don't really have a whole lot left to think or to say on this episode of Journey into Comics, Attack of the Yawns, episode 156. In no specific order did I word that correctly, but that's fine. I would have liked to do that a little bit more smoothly in retrospect. But let's try that again. Okay, this has been Journey into Comics, episode 156, Attack of the Yawns. And if there's nothing a whole lot left to add, I'll go ahead and get into the plugs. You can listen to. Is there anything else to add? Did you want to say anything, Brando?
When you know how like you can mess up words, and every once in a while, there's a Haywood Banks song that I heard today called "Summertime."
Okay.
And during one of the choruses, he says, I got sunburns on the soles of my feet and sand where the sun don't shine. And the next time he sings it, he goes, I got sand burns on the soles of my feet, sun where the sand don't shine. And then he ends up saying like I got sand burns on the sun of my burn, or something like that. he just keeps mixing up all the words.
That's like, didn't he also do I'm not as drunk as you think I am? I'm not as drunk, I think.
No. No, I don't think it was him. Of course, he did that Yeah Toast.
Oh, Yeah Toast. I remember
18
that.
18 wheels on a big rig.
18 at 1,
He
2.
did Roman numerals backwards.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Even and odd, too.
Yeah. See, the old one was always just like the Roman numerals, but then on this new one I saw, he actually did the Roman numerals backwards.
Whoa. Because I can do I, V, 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 I, V, I, V, I, V, I, X, 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 I, X, I. Yeah, I can't do it now. But
he actually performed at our work today.
What?
At our appreciation day, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hayward Banks?
Haywood Banks.
Hayward
Banks.
Haywood Banks. Really?
Yeah.
You guys missed him for me?
Yeah.
I'm fucking flattered as a motherfucker because I would have much rather went and saw his fucking performance and laughed my ass off.
Yeah, toast.
And done none of the work.
Done none of the work, I see. Because we're allowed to bring a few guests.
Yeah.
I wasn't referencing that because I was not aware. I was just saying I did work today as far as loading equipment.
Oh. I thought you said, like, I would love to go see that guy and do none of the work that you guys have to do. That's what you're saying.
Well, then, yes, I also meant it like that, too. That's what I meant the whole time, actually.
Is your ice melted yet?
Oh, it's empty, dude. I already ate the whole fucking thing.
He fucking
Italian ice.
mowed that thing down.
While Blaine was awake and still able to speak coherent sentences, I ate it quickly. I was like, better get it in.
I vaguely remember that.
I was fading out a couple times too. I kept looking at the Walk Among Us logo like on your computer, and I kept like I'm sitting over here and my left eye just keeps shutting, and I just keep thinking, how much can I squint and still see it? And next thing I know, you guys are talking. I'm like, oh, hey. How's it going?
Well, that's like I told you on the Voice of Survival episode 1, which I was here.
Yeah.
Sarah was there. And I had the headphones on for the whole episode. She did not have headphones on. So because I wanted to make sure the first episode quality-wise was good. I was hearing a couple noises. I was hearing some of that radio feedback sometimes you get where it's like a radio bleed over.
Yeah.
You know, we've had that happen with the whole creepy amp shit, which we didn't talk about. But I was sitting here, and I'm listening to her talk, and she's telling her story. And I'm right here, and I just am closing my eyes trying to figure out what I could do to kill this sound off. I'm not nodding off. I'm not doing the head dip. I just had my eyes lightly closed. She slapped me. Are you even listening to me? I was like, yes, I'm listening. I promise. I just had to make sure this noise. So we did a little tiny little edit, just that little 2 seconds, and then it happened again, and then she was like, and I was like, yes, I'm still listening. It's good. It's great. So I know how hard it is to be in a more relaxed situation like this where you guys are already sleep deprived on that comfy ass couch and not want to just
this ain't really that comfy. I'm just too lazy to move.
I guess that works. We were in the process of attempting to wrap this. Possibly. Should we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So as always, folks, you can check out Journey into Comics on all of our different social media sites. You can get us at Journey into Comics Podcast on Facebook, JIC Network on Twitter, Journey into Comics on... Wait a minute, is it Journey into Comics? It is just Journey into Comics on Instagram. Yeah. You can get us on YouTube. Obviously, anywhere that you can listen to podcasts. Stitcher, Google Play Music, iTunes, Podbean, Overcast, Podcast Addict, Undercast, Weathercast.
You're just making them up now.
Podcastamatic history. Yeah, like whatever it is, you can listen to us there. And you can subscribe to us and get us in your feed. We appreciate it. You get 7 of the 8 shows that way. If you become a patron for $1. Whooping dollar.
A whooping dollar.
You get all 8 shows. Game Addicts is
$1
included.
says, whoop, 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 whoop.
But you get Game Addicts, which I'm so glad that that's on there. That's like the way you can get the entire network.
Yeah, on one feed, and because when you pledge, you get a special RSS feed that you can plug into your favorite, podcast addict like player, and then just subscribe through there. And I'm not a patron because I run the thing. I'd have to set up like a pseudo account just to do it.
You just be handing money to yourself. It's totally fucking pointless.
Right. So like I need to because I like to be in the know on everything. So I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
Oh.
But for the audio you get in that one feed, we put the Game Addicts back in there because I just thought it would be really cool. We usually record a week early, so it's always like when I go home, I edit it right up, and it's up on Thursday nights.
That's the one way people can get the most current news covered as quickly as it can be
Pretty
covered.
much, because that's usually what we do. If we're going to be talking about news, I look at stuff. If there's not anything that I have already wanted to talk about, I usually look at stuff that day and see what's out, see if there's anything worth talking about.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's the best way to do it. But one thing, if you pledge $3, you get the $1 content, which is all of our shows.
All early access, yeah.
Plus, you get exclusive content, like our first ever new Comic Club Patreon exclusive one, where we went through and talked about The Walking Dead issues 1 through 6. Totally fucking spoiled the whole series, I realized. We kind of definitely talked about shit that happens later in the books within talking about this stuff. Like, not super detailed, but enough to give a little bit away. But it was really good, I thought. Like, it was no tangents. We're down to business. And I'm really glad that we did that on the 3rd day instead of it being on the 1 day.
It would have been like this, where we would have been like, yeah, that thing with the thing and the guy.
Those guys showed up, and then there was zombies.
And then the Shane got shot. And Lauders ain't even scared.
Lauders. Yeah. Le Otters. But, I don't really think that there's anything else we should add to this episode, per se.
No, dude,
it's been great chatting with you guys.
Same. It's been great coming back up here.
It was
hanging out.
Awesome to have you guys up here. Did you go to Disc Replay today?
No.
Good save.
I know. I was right nearby.
You're like, danger, danger, danger,
you know what's
danger.
Funny? Because of the show, because we went to Walk Among Us, because we helped you load in, and we were there early, we never paid a cover.
Yeah, score to you guys.
So, I did spend $4 on one beer.
Ooh.
$3.
That's why I did not spend any more dollars on any more beers.
Same. They wouldn't take my card, so I didn't want to use my cash.
Wow.
I knew it was going to be at least 3 because he had got one. But since I ordered an Angry Orchard, they're like, I'm going to rape this guy. And I'm like, oh.
I love how $1 difference constitutes rape.
Yeah, obviously.
That's like an extreme.
$4 for a bottle of beer it's pretty expensive. But, I was like, I'm out without my kid and don't have to go back. So I'm going to have a beer. And then I got tired of waiting for the soundtrack. My point of this whole slurry, convoluted statement is that I got money in my pocket and I got nothing else to do with it, so I could go to Disc Replay. But I probably shouldn't.
Maybe you will, though. Who knows?
Because what I'm going to do is probably find something like, I could get that, but I need what I have in my pocket and $30 more.
You're like, come on, materialize. 30. Nope.
I did go to the smallest Walmart that I've ever been to, probably in 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah. Stopped off to get those cough drops.
Okay.
And some Walmart that away.
Okay.
Only had one entrance.
Weird.
It was so weird, man.
That sounds weird.
Like one entrance and one exit, and everything was. It only had 12 aisles of like cash registers.
Fuck, where is this place? I want to go.
It was like, it was down the road.
I feel like it's a treasure trove of secret goodies.
It was so weird, man.
Our outro's so long, Blaine fell back asleep.
It is pretty long. We've been going for like 8 minutes on this outro. But I mean, that's just it, man.
Oh fuck. Oh, this was a hilariously weird episode. Episode 156 of Journey into Comics, Attack of the Yawns. Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, listen to all of the different shows on the Journey into Comics network, whether it be this show right here at Journey into Comics, Game Addicts Podcast, Journey into Wrestling, Foodies Watching Movies, the Voice of Survival Podcast, Podcastrophe, The Poor Rapport, or Butt Stuff. You can listen to them all here on the network.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your ears listening to what we're having to say. Always, you give us a 5-star review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to. Let us know you like what we're doing, or if you hate us, give us a 1-star. We don't mind. Want to keep it real. Also, you can send in questions at journeyintocomicspodcast@gmail.com. If that's going to do it for this week of Journey into Comics, this was episode 156, Attack of the Yawns. I've been Nate.
I'm Brando.
I'm Dick, and you can find me at Podcastrophe, where that's on the internet.
You know what's weird? I totally forgot to outro this, that you're also the Game Addicts host, and then you're also the Podcastrophe
Way
host.
to go.
We totally kind of glazed over that. So let's try this one more time. I want to thank Dick from Podcastrophe and Brando from Game Addicts Podcast and Journey into Comics for coming on to Journey into Comics, episode 156.
Thanks for coming to your own podcast.
Attack of the Yawns. I've been Nate.
I've been Brando.
I'm Dick.
Fill your brains with shit.
Yeah.
Later.